Good evening. What is happening? How are you? Happy Saturday to you, good people. Are you enjoying the weekend? I hope you are. And I'm going to say, Emmanuel, let me tell you, a nice glass of wine at 9 o'clock Central Standard Time, I will be having a sip with my dinner. Oh, yeah, that's what's going to happen. I didn't have anything yesterday. I'm kind of thrown off now that you're at home now most of the time, so you can kind of drink whatever you want. But with me, because of this dryness, I just can't do it. I can't enjoy it. So I haven't had anything for a minute, but oh, I will be opening up that wine. I'm trying to remember if I even know how to uncork it. It's been so long. I don't know. I'm out of practice. But I think I'll figure it out though. I think I will. But I hope everyone is doing well. Thank you so much for tuning in. And we got some stuff for you. We always do. I am doing spring cleaning. That's what I call it, spring cleaning. I'm actually going through everything because I know I have some stuff that I don't need and I need to get rid of it. So I'm going through everything. And I ran across my dream book. Yes, my dream book was inspired by my late hairdresser. Because when I used to go to the appointments and I tell him my dreams, he was so amazed that I remembered them for number one. And then he was amazed by the details. So he told me I should start, writing them down. And I, said, okay, I'm going to do that. So this was in 2015. So I started writing them down. And he passed in February 2018. And I stopped writing them down in, I think, June. So the middle of the year, I just said, that's it. Can't share it with them anymore. It's not going to be the same. So I just, stopped writing them. But when I came across the book, I said, you know what? I may share some of the dreams, you know, on the show. But I have to figure out how I'm going to do it. Is it going to be extra show? Is it going to be, a segment recorded? I don't know yet. So I have to think about it. But I have some interesting dreams, I tell you. They were so interesting that I had to, at the time, I was doing BGS for women on Fridays. And I had to ask BGS, could you help me try to figure this out? Because I keep dreaming of this guy, haven't been with this guy for over 10 years. What gives? I'm not thinking about him. I care less. What is going on? And so we went through a few things and he helped me think about it. And I was satisfied with the conclusion. I'm like, okay, I guess I understand that this represents something familiar and this represents something new and this represent I'm like, okay, I got it. So I'll do that. And like I said, I'll let you guys know what I decide how to share it. Okay. All right. So let's get on with the show, good people. You know what to do. Classic Ruby is back. Ratchet Ruby has retired. So let's all give her a warm welcome. Give her a standing ovation, and here goes her intro music.
Go down there, why not go down there? Go down there, why not go down there? Go down there, why not go down there? Go down there.
Stay down there, girl. Stay down there.
All right, y'all heard Spice. She told me to stay down. So, I guess that's the end of the show. Thanks for coming, everyone. Have a great night. Girl, I'm not about this life today. I don't know. Listen, I'm going to try. I'm going to try, but I can tell y'all today is just not the day. I don't know what it is. Like, it's just like the lingering, no countness. That's like, it's like the worst symptom of some viruses, right? Is the no countness that just attaches to your soul. and you don't want to do nothing, period. Like you're good. Like, oh, your house is about to explode. Oh, well, like is the explosion gonna reach the couch? Because like if it is, if I move closer to the window, will I be safe? Because I don't really feel like standing up and like walking outside. You know, you got to put on clothes and gather effects. Like you're just not in the mood for anything. Whereas if it's bacterial, right, you get to just take antibiotics. And then once the antibiotics kick in, you're good. You're like, yeah, I want to do laundry. Yeah, I'm behind and stuff. I want to do them. Not so over here, y'all. But listen, at least I gotta tell y'all, you wouldn't be getting no Karens. But remember, I had like 55 from last week, and they're already open on this. They were still open, right? So I'm like, okay, I'll just add a couple news things to this, and there you go, yay, we have Karens. So at least there's that, you know.
Okay. All
Right?
right.
However, it works. Listen, I told y'all the ratchet thing. Okay, it was a low key joke, but I also did change my philosophy for this year. So maybe it could be no count Ruby. Classic no count. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm feeling that.
No count Ruby.
Yes, yes. How are you doing this lovely midnight Char?
I am doing pretty well. I'm a little bit excited for the wine.
I
And
heard that.
yeah, I'm really excited about that. I've been trying to make sure I'm hydrated so I can actually have it. And I think I am. And I'm going to eat dinner and then have the glass. So I should be fine tonight. Yep, yep,
Oh,
yep.
there you go. Exactly. Hey,
Yes.
listen, I'm feeling that. You know, if I could drink, I would join you. I'll just drink vicariously through you. So, you know, let
Okay.
me know how it tastes, you know, how it tickles your throat in a certain way. I can't taste nothing either, right? Just so everyone knows,
Ah.
a common side effect of Rona, one that I have gotten both times, is you can't taste or smell anything.
Mm.
Yeah. And then the occasional whiff I can get is never something pleasant. Like I only smell like the worst possible thing. Like if the garbage starts rotting or something, I'll smell that. But like the
Ah.
delicious food in front of me, nope,
Nothing.
nope, nothing. It's the weirdest thing. Everything kind of tastes like gauze. You know, gauze, like
Ah.
it just tastes like nothing. It tastes like something the medical
Ugh.
system used. It's for sure sterile. That's what everyone, it's great. Yeah.
Yuck.
Right. And then I just found out today. So everyone is fine. Everyone's fine. But I
Hmm.
was trying to avoid seeing people over the holiday season or even giving them their gifts because, you know, I got the Rona. I don't want to pass it on to anyone who didn't already get it in the first batch of
Uh-huh.
5 of us. My best friend messages me today. She's the one who had the kids with the RSV, pneumonia, and ear infections. Yeah. Well, no, then one by one, through her house and through also her husband's family, they all got Rona. I don't
Mm.
know what's going on with this variant. We're still not. I'm not doing any news on it today, but I'm just saying, you know, this variant is like different. It's different. It's sneakier and whatever, and it seems to be more contagious. So y'all wear your masks. That's all I got for you.
Yeah, I'm convinced that it is the common cold. It is the common flu. That's
Mhm.
what this one is.
Mhm.
So it is guaranteed if you get a cold or flu, normally, that's
Mhm.
what you're going to have. That's
Mhm.
what I think that this is. From
Yeah.
listening to everyone, that's what came to my mind.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's exactly what it is. Because the
Hmm.
first variant that I got, right, like the breathing was the worst thing. Because even though I didn't end up being hospitalized, like just standing up to cook for 5 minutes, like I was out of breath. And I stayed out of breath for a really long time, like months, right? And you know, the fever. But this time I don't have like a fever, you know, and I don't really have, as
Hmm.
long as the humidifier is going, I'm fine, right? But it's these other virusy symptoms. It's just like exact cold and flu. That's what it is. It's just like this never-ending kind of cold and fluishness, and you know that adds on to the no countness, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, but you know that. With that being said, y'all, you're the kind of person who gets a flu and maybe you need an asthma inhaler or something because you get kind of some congestions in your lungs and stuff. Dude, just go take care of yourself, you know, order it in advance from your doctor so you got it stocked up at home. Get your cough syrup, get whatever, some salt for you to gargle with, whatever it is that you
Hmm.
normally use. Just store that inside your house, and as soon as you start feeling, as I've noticed most people, it's a sore throat, um,
Mm-hmm.
and the sore muscles and joints. So if you feel either of those symptoms, just start treating yourself like you already have a cold and flu. You know what I
Yes.
mean? And you should be all right.
Yes.
That's what it seems like.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Hmm.
And I'm going to say hello to Gold Professor. I think he wanted me to say his name. He felt some kind of way. So
Say
I'll
my
say it
name,
three
say my
times.
name.
Gold Professor. Gold Professor. Gold Professor. How are you?
Oh, I was expecting him to appear. I thought this was like a Beetlejuice thing, but okay, cool. Yep.
Okay, so we got that out the way.
Mhm.
Speaking of the Rona, I put in the chat room the link so you guys can order your at home test.
Mm,
You can get 4 sent to your home starting on Wednesday. So on the
nice.
19th, you can order it. Don't be too proud to say, well, I'll buy my own. No, get it because you could help someone else. Even if it's just you in the home, order all 4 that you're eligible for because you've paid for it with your tax dollars. If you have not, you will. Trust me, they'll go up on
Hmm.
your taxes next year, so you'll pay more. But go ahead, order it so you have it in a home in case someone needs it besides yourself. Who knows? You may have a visitor or something. So go ahead and get the test, please. Doesn't cost you anything. You paid for it already. Okay?
Hmm.
Thank you. Wednesday, January 19th.
Nice. That's
Good
good.
deal.
I
And
wonder
I'll
if Canada
probably
has that.
I don't know. But do check out, see if they have it. I didn't hear anything. This was from the president of the US, so I didn't hear anything else. But do check it out, guys. Do check it out.
Yes, for sure. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. And let's see what else we got going on. Are you ready to go first, or you want me to go first with something?
I could go. I could go, you know.
All right.
I could, you know. Sure.
Now, don't hurt yourself. Don't hurt yourself. I'll go ahead and go. How about that? How about
Check yourself before you wreck yourself. Uh,
that?
no, you know what? It's actually good when I go first because then when you're doing your last story, I can prepare the carroting situation. You
Okay.
know.
All right.
Um. So the first thing I'm gonna do because I just thought this was hilarious. Um. Not ha ha funny guys, okay?
Mhm.
Because I know some of the guys are gonna get offended when they see what the story is. But funny in the fact that this is this is the quote unquote solution. And after we talk about it, I mean, y'all look at it like, is this really even seriously serious? I don't think it is.
Mm.
Um, all right. So we talk about this a lot, right? And men always go, well, if we had any options except for condoms, we would use them. But they make all these different kinds of contraception for women, right? There's 4 different kinds of contraception for women and only one for men. All right, well, gentlemen, you can let us know. There's a new male contraceptive. Now, it shrinks your nads, but, okay, it does it using nanoparticles, right? And then, boom, it's a form of contraceptive. It's going to help you not get women pregnant. So let's talk about it, right? I mean, I think that the next thing right there, what's next? Applying a phaser to your crotch is pretty hilarious. But okay,
Mm.
right? So let's talk about this,
Z-
right? So to remedy this imbalance that men have been complaining about, why is it that they don't get all kinds of different forms of contraception? Again, they've come out with the male birth control pill. It cannot pass testing because men will not comply because they don't like the symptoms, which are the same symptoms that women receive. However, anyway, now they've come out with something else like this. Okay. Now, this is similar to the warm water testicle bath. Yeah, that was a thing. That warm water test. Okay, I don't know if people know this. So if you're trying to conceive, you got to keep the boys down there cool, right? Because
mhm.
getting everything too hot actually decreases your sperm count, right? So they decided that they're going to probe. along this line of, okay, well, heating, da da da. So, a study from July 2021 found that nano contraception could be worth pursuing as a human contraceptive. The method relies on nanoparticles, tiny little pieces of metal, yep, that are only a thousandth of the width of a human hair in diameter. In theory, it could be possible to introduce nanoparticles into the body of a human male. Once inside, doctors could then use a magnet to guide the particles into the testicles. And then once in the gonads, doctors would then carefully heat up the nanoparticles. Sperm viability, therefore, would be plunging in those high temperatures, so heating up your testicles could essentially neutralize your little swimmers. I mean, this is not a new idea, although they're trying to revolutionize it. So let's talk about when it was tested on animals in 2013. And at that time, biologist Faye Sun and his multidisciplinary team, they were researching the nanocontraceptive methods on mice. So they injected gold nanotubes directly into the mice testicles. And once they were, all full of gold in there, they heated this up using infrared radiation. And as a result, the nanoparticles heated up to temperatures between 98 and 113 degrees Fahrenheit. There's only one unfortunate side effect. Only one unfortunate. The intense infrared radiation caused heat lesions on the mice's testicles. The only one. This is like a small thing. Who doesn't heat lesions? I mean, it's not that big of a deal. At least you won't be getting some no-count chick pregnant, right? Okay. So now in 2021, Sun's team released the results of their new and improved contraceptive method. So this time, instead of using gold tubes, they opted for particles made out of iron oxide. Yep. Also, instead of injecting them straight into the nads, I like that they keep using nads. I think it's hilarious. The scientists injected the particles into the mice's veins elsewhere. They then anesthetized the mice and used a magnet to pull the iron particles to the testicles. The iron injection and gathering procedure was repeated daily for 1 to 4 days, depending on the mouse. Then the researchers wrapped an electric coil around the mice's balls and subjected the iron nanotubes to a magnetic field. This heated up the tubes as effectively as the infrared radiation, but without causing burns. I mean, it's a totally reasonable trade-off, right? I mean, because I think every man is going to be willing to squat, right, with his balls inside of a coil.
Step right up, Don Teasy. Step right up.
Who comes up with this stuff? Okay, sorry. But anyway, and it did, of course, cause the mice's fertility to plummet, right? So the good news is that the contraceptive effect is not permanent. After about 2 months, the mice's fertility began to rise again, which indicates that they were on their way to normal reproductive health. So using iron particles instead of gold also has an additional benefit. The gold particles stayed in the testicles permanently, whereas the animals' livers and spleens eventually removed the iron nanotubes from their bodies. So as a result, Sun's team suggests that using iron over gold reduces the risk of long-term toxicity. However, there are some additional caveats. We have to talk about the additional caveats because needing to squat with your balls in a microcoil is not enough. So the first factor is excessive heating. So warming up the nads could be an undeniably effective contraceptive method. However, if you heat the testicles too much, they can be irreversibly damaged. So far, this is no better than a vasectomy. As a result, even if the nanoparticles exited the body, the testicle temperature returned to normal, sperm production would never recover. And then also, Sun questioned whether human men would be willing to be put under anesthesia for several hours versus like a local like how was this better than the vasectomy? Okay, anyway, for several hours while doctors wrapped electrical coils around their balls. No, Sun, no, men would not be willing to do that. And then there's the fact that the nanoparticle treatment physically actually shrinks the testicles. Like it shrinks your testicles. Your testicles are going to become very, very small.
Eeny, meeny, eat, miny.
Right? So they say that the testicles will likely regain their size with time. Would men be comfortable living with these super shrunken gnats? And then of course
Hmm.
they're not sure exactly how toxic the iron oxide would be. But however, hey, listen, gentlemen, I'm going to keep it 100 with you. This is about how they went about female contraception. Let's be real. They did not care about really what the side effects were, how it was going to affect our lives, what it was going to do. They don't care about any of that, right? Like, so there you go.
It's your turn.
Right. Hey, listen. At least this does not affect your sex drive, which was the main complaint that men had with the oral contraceptive pill, right? Is it affected their
Mhm.
sex drive, made them not want to have sex, which is something that happens to a lot of women as well, right? So now they're taking the pill, they don't want to have sex. But I guess maybe the men will want to have sex, but then they'll be like, "Oh, my shrunken gnats, so embarrassing," and then they won't want to have sex. I don't know, but I'm just saying, guys, they are out there researching, trying to help y'all out. So you can stop complaining now. They're trying to come up with solutions. You can talk about iron oxide and coils around your balls. There you go.
All
Solution number
right.
one.
Okay. Hmm. Well, speaking of little ones, children, that's what we're going into on this. I mentioned yesterday about getting online, putting that one in the chat room so people can agree with you and all of that. And what have you? What is it? What more can you want from me? So here you have Kanye today, and he said he's taking control of the narrative. And I'm going to play this for you, and then I'm going to tell you my thoughts about
Okay.
how weird and strange this is. Okay?
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm just wishing my daughter a public happy birthday. I wasn't allowed to know where her party was. There's nothing legal that's saying that these are the kind of games that's being played. It's the kind of thing that really has affected my health for the longest. And I'm just not playing. I'm taking control of my narrative this year. I'm being the father, the best father, the yay version of a father.
I don't know what no yay version is. I have no idea what that is. I looked it up, could not find it in Wikipedia, dictionary, nothing. Google search, nothing. As far as not being allowed to go to the child party, well, listening to him, he's going to give you some, he told you he got some problems, because of it, some stress and all of that, games being played. And we do hear that a lot, but we don't know the other side of the story. We only got one side. So I just, kind of want to point that out to you. But there's more.
And I'm not finna let this happen. And we're gonna be in real time with this right here. Chicago, happy birthday. I love you. And I'm just putting this online because I need y'all support. I didn't call Kim, text the nannies. I got on the phone with Tristan. He said he asked Chloe, won't nobody give me the address to my daughter's birthday party right now? That's gonna imprint in her mind that I wasn't there for her. You get what I'm saying? Like I ain't this I was supposed to be in Miami recording my album. My whole schedule is all based around me being able to take my kids to school, me being there for them, making sure that I'm in their life. That's the whole point of having money. They take so many fathers just throughout America. They've been taking the fathers out the homes purposely.
There we go. Narrative that we hear very often. Taking
Mhm.
fathers out the home. What year was that we hear that is being said? Early 70s, late 60s or something?
Yeah.
He was not born, nor was his child, nor was the wife. He wasn't thought of. How does that affect you, sir? And then he goes into my schedule is supposed to be around so I could take my kids to school. So what does that have to do with this party? Because you can't attend this party, this messes up your schedule because you're supposed to be in recording. Come on, stop it. And he wants you to put a one in the chat room and support him. That's what he wants. So that is why I say,
Mm-hmm.
be careful, listen to what people are saying. Don't just take everything what a person says. Weigh the information, please, and think for yourself. Thank you. Just
Yeah.
just wanted to throw that out there, but yeah.
I mean, it's Kanye. I'm gonna be real with y'all. I'm pretty sure Kanye lost his mind a long time ago. Just keeping it a buck. So, with that being said, I think the only reason why he didn't go completely off the rails is because Kim's very powerful team kept him just this side of sane. So, and again, I'm not saying, gentlemen, that you should believe me or agree with me or whatever. I'm just saying I could see why they might have concerns about him. And if I'm saying that as someone who don't know him in real life and whatever, just based on his public statements and tomfoolery and whatnot, um, I can't even imagine what they personally know, right? And it's honestly, it's not for us to judge what goes on behind closed doors, but what we need to stop doing, right? What we really need to stop doing is assume that everybody's an innocent victim. Okay.
Right. When they go online and ask you to put a one in the chat room.
Right.
You feel me?
I'm just
Stop
saying.
it. Just stop. Okay, I'm gonna do this as well. Um, they have some new technology. May not be new to you, but I found it kind of interesting because they've been having issues with folks stealing um, out of Home Depot. So I'm going to share this with you, and maybe it's new news to you. I hope it is, and if not, well, spread the word anyway. Here goes.
Braze and smash and grab robberies and shoplifting is showing no sign of stopping. But some stores are taking extreme measures to stop would-be thieves in their tracks, literally. Lisa Guerrero has details.
This is not a warehouse. It's a home that cops say was jammed with more than $1 million in shoplifted power tools. And this video shows a line of cops emptying out a storage unit filled with goods they say were stolen from Home Depot.
So these aren't your typical shoplifters, are they?
No, this is not petty shoplifting. This is organized retail crime.
Retail giants like Home Depot are fed up with the shoplifting spree sweeping the nation. They're fighting back as never before. Home Depot's Christina Cornell gave me an exclusive look at the company's latest crime-fighting technology.
So what's to stop me from taking this cart, loading it up, and running out the door with it?
And Lisa, that's a common tactic that we see that a lot of thieves use. But what we're really excited about is we're rolling out technology that if you were to try and roll this out of the store, the wheels on this cart would lock.
The wheels on the cart will lock.
Yes, we know that this is probably going to catch a lot of bad guys.
Expensive items are getting locked, and there are more surveillance cameras in the aisles.
Smile, you're being recorded.
And if a shoplifter runs out with a stolen power tool, good luck.
In a lot of our stores, we're piloting right now some state-of-the-art technology that uses Bluetooth so that if you don't pay for this, if you don't scan it and go through the register, it won't even turn on.
You're kidding me.
We want people to know that the value in this is in its ability to work. And if it's not even going to work, it's not worth stealing.
It's just a heavy box.
So thieves, beware. Big box stores like Home Depot are saying enough is enough.
I found it very interesting. I'm like, you're going to do Bluetooth technology and you don't pay for it? That bad fella not going to work. And what's going to end up happening if they go around and try to sell that jacked up item? You know that person's going to be found on the block. Hey, man, you sold me that. It don't work. Oh, man, it's brand new. I got it out the box. And it's going to be a fight. And you already know how that's going to happen. What's going to happen at the end. But I'm like, dang, that is going to be very interesting. And I know we're not that far from it anyway, now that I think about it, because when you buy some of the new products, you have to go online and activate it and all that kind of stuff, and it's registered. So it's just really not that far. But I found it interesting when, she said that, though. I'm like, dang, okay.
I think of a couple obvious issues. Number one is that if anything, they're just going to get whatever technology it is to activate, unlock, make that thing work. people are just going to figure out the hack for that. It won't take very long. Because that's what they do. It's the same thing with security tags, right? People figured out a hack to get the security, those ones that put ink all over stuff. They figured out a hack to get the security tags off. Problem number one. Problem number two is that during very busy times,
Hmm.
um, uh, cashiers are overwhelmed, blah, 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 lots happening. Maybe this is, and they miss stuff, right? Because I've gotten stuff home that I paid for, right? And then I get it home and it still has a stupid ink tag thing on it,
Oh yeah, yeah.
right? Even
Hmm.
worse when I purchased it from, say, across the border, because we used to go to Erie, Pennsylvania to shop, right? Because there's no sales tax there.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
and everything was cheap. And then we would lie and claim we were on vacation, so we didn't have to pay duty at the border either. But anyway,
Mhm.
allegedly.
Yeah,
So
allegedly. Hmm. Yeah.
allegedly.
Hmm.
So anyway, and then you get all the way back, right? And now you want to unpack your haul, and some of them forgot to take off those tags, and you're like, so now what? Right? Like it's just like, so I'm
Wow.
imagining that, right? You buy all this stuff on, let's say, Black Friday or whatever, right, as people do often for Christmas gifts, right? Now you wait that 30, 40 days. Maybe you misplace one or two of the receipts, whatever. The point is, you give away the gifts now. And some of them don't work because you know what? In the hustle and bustle of Black Friday, a couple got missed. Now what? Now you bring it back to the store. How are they going to confirm that someone really, really bought that? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I just see it being not any more or less problematic or protective than any other solution. But like,
All right. Well, we'll see.
good luck. All your future endeavors. Guess we shall see. I mean, listen, I just think if you're gonna make in-store shopping even harder for honest people, they're
Yeah.
gonna shop in-store less, because as it is, big box stores, all these stores are closing because it's easier to just order from Amazon.
Yeah.
Real talk. All right. So first we're gonna watch this video. Then we're gonna talk about a common scam that's
Mm.
going on, guys. You need to be aware of. So let's take a listen to this video.
That's her stuff. That's her stuff. So you can't touch her stuff, right? I got the mattress. Here, Mom, I want stuff in the trunk. I'll just pull shit out of it. Right? All stuff in the trunk, but this is hers. So she can have it, right? It's her property. Can you keep her property? I don't think so. I don't think you can keep her property. I'm gonna make a phone call. Hey!
Mm.
You cannot fucking lock someone in a trunk. Are you kidding me? You are
Mm-mm.
tripping. That is absolutely the fuck not.
Way too much. You can just
Okay.
lock people into the truck because you're having a dispute.
Fuck you think you're doing? You can't put somebody in a trunk.
Wow.
You don't lock her into a fucking truck, you psycho.
Okay. So now, y'all might be thinking this is just a regular dispute. This happens sometimes. Maybe you didn't read your agreement, and the agreement said, hey, listen, if you're late, then you got to pay an extra $50, and they don't want to pay the extra $50, and now you got a dispute. Nope. This isn't a dispute over scammering. Okay. So there have been some scam movers in this new scam hustle. Here's the thing. This is why it's low key kind of brilliant, but also stupid, because we know a lot of people are being put in the position where they didn't pay their rent for months because of the pandemic and everything, right? And so a lot of people are now looking for movers, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's a great, and the thing is people are also looking for bottom barrel pricing, because if they could afford really expensive movers, they probably could also afford to pay their back rent. And so now this is where these scam companies come in. Okay. So the scam companies, what they do, and this is what happened here, it was captured here. What they do is they first quote you a really great price. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So the woman here, Sam and her roommate, they hired G&M Moving and Storage Corp and gave them a precise list of what they needed moved and were given an estimate they were both very happy with. Right. So it's like, oh, yes. Okay, good. Thank God, something I can afford. Okay, let's do it. Right. But when the truck arrived and loaded everything on, they then handed them a bill for literally thousands of dollars more than the original quote.
Oh.
Thousands, not a couple hundred, even thousands of dollars more.
Mm.
Yeah. So now what they did is they said, okay, maybe this is just a mistake, right? So giving the company the benefit of the doubt, and with all of their stuff already loaded on, they agreed to the new higher price and signed a contract. But the drama didn't even nearly end there. Cut to 1 month later, because that's how long it took them to get our stuff to New Orleans. 1 month later. So
Wow.
let's think about this. You agree to price one. Let's say it's $3,000.
Mm-hmm.
Then they get all your stuff onto the truck first and then go, no, it's actually $10,000.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's already loaded up. Everyone hates moving in. Fine, fine. Let's do the new contract. I'll sign that amount. Fine. We're going to pay you $10,000. Fine. How long is it going to be? A week or two. Cool. And then a month later, your stuff shows up. Cut to 1 month later. Okay. And the driver arrives in a rented truck with 3 local helpers he had hired, who, according to Sam, were about to discover they were also going to get ripped off. Now, when the girls handed the driver their contract, they said he then told them the bill was actually over $1,000 more than that again. Among the new charges that he was
Mm-hmm.
pulling out of his a-hole
Right.
was a $700 charge for a shuttle truck, even though the truck that arrived was the same one they had originally loaded. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Right. When they tried to dispute the new bill, the new bill, he told them they could argue all they want, but he was charging an extra $75 on top of that for every 50 minutes they had made him wait.
Mm.
Sam said they even offered to pay an extra $300. I don't see why, but the amount actually stipulated in the contract for the Phantom shuttle truck. He told them if they didn't immediately pay the full new amount in cash, he was driving away with their belongings and blocking their number.
Yeah, you go ahead, okay? Go ahead and
Right?
take that.
They were the perfect targets. Can I just say that these people know how to pick their marks well. They were the perfect targets because with the first upcharge, they
Mm-hmm.
paid it. Now you're willing to pay the
Yeah.
$300, but just not $75 for every 15 minutes. What? That's where are you out of your mind? That's the only part. Okay, cool. So worried they're about to have all their property stolen, the girls decided to unload it themselves. They called the police 3 times, but they would take 90 minutes to arrive. Meanwhile, the driver was threatening to have them arrested for trespassing. What?
What
You
neighborhood were they in? Took that long.
but how can they got arrested for trespassing on their truck? What? Like, can you be trespassing on a truck?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Once on board the truck, Sam and the driver began doing the male Karen thing and crying that her roommate was hitting and assaulting him, while he was the one pressing his full body weight against her as she tried to lift boxes off, pinning her against the wall of the truck. The
Hmm.
video shows the driver pushing the roommate back into the truck as she tries to drag out a mattress. It then shows him slamming the door down while she's still inside and locking the latch. What kind of freak show? Like,
What
imagine,
the heck?
right? Imagine they hadn't moved into like this neighborhood of like, just aware people who are going to sit there and record and pay attention. And, like, I can't even imagine what would have, imagine how terrified you'd be as like women. And now you're
Hmm.
locked in this truck with all of your worldly belongings in a new place by these men that are
Right.
clearly, I can't even imagine. I can't even this is they're for real scammers. And the thing is, the reason why they're doing this again, right? They're picking the right people. Is they are using intimidation in a way, right, to get you to just pay up, and be done with the whole thing, right? Well, I'm just gonna take all your stuff and drive away with it and block it out. You'll never hear from me again. Well, I'm gonna be aggressive towards you physically and make you fear what's gonna happen if you keep fighting back against me, right? Like that's what these pieces of trash were doing. Now, eventually, right? And luckily, this because this whole ordeal lasted a total of 3 hours. This is a second ordeal now. Okay. So when the police arrived, the driver denied locking the roommate in the truck, but luckily, of course, there's video. Videotape everything, people.
Yeah.
Okay. And so when Sam showed officer the video, the officers became furious, and then they were charged with felony false imprisonment. So at least there's that. But here's the thing: the drivers, those guys, now know where they live, right? Because he just moved them into this place, right? And they're feeling really uncomfortable about that. You just signed a new lease, right? You just moved to a new place.
Right.
Now, apparently, where they've moved, which is New Orleans, right? There is a 110% law that makes it illegal for moving companies to charge more than 10% above the original agreed upon price in additional same day fees. And this was
Okay.
well over the 10%.
Right.
So I don't know though if that's going to apply because this is New Orleans versus where they moved from, or exactly what's going to happen. But the point is, right? This is actually, I think, the third or fourth story I've seen of moving hustles in the last few months. So I wanted to show it to you because
Yeah.
clearly some people are running some hustles, and you want to be aware.
Right. You got to think about it. A lot of people were staying put in this last couple of years.
Hmm.
Those companies, everybody is suffering. You
Hmm.
know, all
Exactly.
this summer, winter, fall, and spring coming. Yeah, it comes every year.
Hmm.
But these companies, regardless of gender, race, or anything, they are affected.
Exactly. Yep.
Gee.
Crazy.
Mm. I'm trying to figure out what tab to click on. I'm gonna do two. Let's do yeah, I'll do this one because this one tries to start every time I go to it. So let me go ahead and get it out the way. Boom. All right, so I'm gonna do this first, and then I'll do the next one. Child, I just was so surprised at this ATM. I just when I looked at the window, I just looked and I was like, huh? And then there's footage. I'm like, what the?
Oh
So let
boy.
me share that with you. It's interesting.
We've been following this breaking news from North Suburban Wilmette, where police are investigating two separate break-ins just a half mile from each other. A source telling our nonstop news crew someone smashed the front door window of the Wilmette Food Mart and stole the ATM. Now, this is on Green Bay Road near Wilmette Avenue. They took off in a black Jeep Cherokee. Now, several blocks north on Green Bay Road, this BP gas station was broken into. It's a similar scene with the front door glass broken. Our police source telling us the crooks tried to take the cash machine here as well, but in this case, they didn't get away with it. We're told it was also a Jeep Cherokee involved. Wilmette police followed that vehicle, but stopped when they started dangerously speeding. Now, that Jeep is the same description as the one involved in an ATM theft in Edgewater Beach we reported yesterday morning. Our nonstop news crew first showing you this surveillance video. Right now, we don't know if the two crimes are connected.
I'm like, just slid the darn machine, just slid it out the window. I looked, huh? What the world? All this last week, people. Oh,
Hmm.
excuse me. Let me get some water here.
Well, I could tell you, Sharp, this ATM thing is hilarious. Like, it's like no one even cares about like the repercussions or if people are succeeding and failing, getting caught, going to getting arrested or not. They're like, hey, if those other idiots did it, I could do it too. And like it's just becoming more and more flagrant and popular as time
Yeah.
goes on. Like,
I mean, in 1 week, I'm like, they're getting down in Illinois. And the place that they actually got the machine was more so Chicago. They had to go to the suburbs where they tried that BP and that other place. But I'm like, they really getting down and just slid the machine out at the bottom part of the glass. I'm like, that's it? Dang. I'm like, y'all gonna have to do more. If that's all it takes, come on. Gee,
Flagrant. I gotta love it. They desperate times call for desperate measures.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
Gee. All right, so the next one here, I gotta do a little reading. Hopefully, I do not cough. It's getting dry because I got the window open, and there's not much humidity in this room.
Mm.
So I'm about to get this other machine out and get it going.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, me personally, if I was the judge, the answer would have been no. But for whatever reason, the judge decided to allow the man to go to his brother's funeral, even though he was in jail. Yeah, I've never heard of that. Excuse me, but let's see what happens here. Okay, how do I share? Right there. There he is, Mr. America. Yeah, they looking for brother man. Okay, let me read this story. Excuse me. The Page man let out of jail to attend brother's funeral goes missing. Police discover electronic tracking device at cemetery. Police were searching Friday for a man convicted of illegal gun dealing who went missing while attending his brother's funeral in Elmhurst. That's a suburb in Illinois. A no bond arrest warrant was issued for Bruce Berrier, 23 years old, formerly of Villa Park, for contempt of court. Berrier was serving a 10-year sentence for gun running, but was released on 8 a.m. Tuesday to attend the funeral of his brother Rocky Berrier. Over prosecutors' objection, DuPage County Judge Michael Reedy allowed Berrier to go to Bruce Funeral Home in Lombard at Arlington Cemetery in Elmhurst to a family lunch while monitored by electronic tracking device, court's documents show. He was to return to DuPage County Jail by 2 p.m., but authorities said he didn't. At 1:27 p.m. that day, the GPS ankle monitor was cut off. Police found a device at the cemetery. Mm, mm, mm. And Berrier was charged with felony criminal damage to government property. Berrier pleaded guilty in July 2021 to gun running. At the time of his arrest, he had been on parole after serving 2.5 years for aggravated discharge of a firearm in November 2015. In that case, prosecutors said two groups of people came to Berrier's apartment in Villa Park to hang out and drink beer, and an argument arose. Berrier ordered one group to leave, and he and his friends followed the people out to their vehicles. The group confronted each other, prosecutors said, and Berrier took out a gun, of course, and fired multiple shots, hitting one person in the leg, breaking it, and hitting another person 3 times, causing injuries to the vertebrae, bowel, and kidney. Berrier was 16 years old at the time of that shooting. Why would you allow this man out? Just why? I don't get it. I'm like, who is his parents? Do you know him? He got some money. Why? Why would you allow?
Mm-hmm.
Put a damn camera in at the funeral or something. And
Right.
then he get to go to a dinner? What? No, no, no. You get a obituary, and that's all you get. You stay in jail. Mm-mm. I'm like, what in the world is really going on here? Whew.
I have no answers. just more questions. No real answers though. Okay.
What in the world was that judge smoking, or what's in his pocket? Something going on. He got something out of it, trust me.
Oh yeah, no, for sure, for sure. I would say let's just give the world to the robots to run, but apparently they don't do any better. And I'm gonna explain what I mean
Uh-oh.
by that. Yes, that's right. I love when we got a good tie-in. Um, all right, so first, because y'all might not know about this, I don't know. Some of y'all have a little too much common sense to spend all your time watching idiots fulfill TikTok challenges, right? But this was a TikTok challenge. So first, we're going to talk about this TikTok challenge. It's about a year or two old now. Okay. It was January 30th or so. This is when this article is from. So we're gonna we'll listen to this first, and then I'll let you know how robots are instructing our children. Okay.
Look at this. The new challenge on the social media app TikTok are sparking a lot of concern from safety officials. Viral videos like this one show a coin being dropped between the prongs of a phone charger that is loosely connected to an outlet. Now, no injuries have been reported in this province, at least not yet, but Ontario's Electrical Safety Authority wants children and parents to know about the dangers of this viral craze. Joining us now.
Now we gonna skip forward.
Okay.
Just listen to dangers. I mean, I think all of us know that you shouldn't play with live electrical anything. But no, children don't know that because they're stupid, which is why when you're a kid, they put those little plugs over the holes of the electrical sockets because you're an idiot, right? You would think by being a teenager, you might have grown up and into some common sense, but no, that's not what happens. Okay, let's hear some of the dangers. Okay.
Electricity, when it's out of its containment, is fire and shock. And when you drop a coin on those terminals, you're basically letting whatever energy is available from the generating station to be unleashed onto that coin. It will melt it. It will throw pieces of copper or other metal on you, could go in your eyes. The flash itself could temporarily blind you, and your clothes could catch on fire.
And the thing is, with those sparks, you can't predict exactly which way they're going to go.
Absolutely not. There's a lot of fault current, it's called there. So a lot of energy comes up very quickly, and you have no way to predict where it's going to end up. It could catch the house on fire.
Right. And we're also hearing that a number of kids in Massachusetts are charged because they tried to do this at their school and they caused some damage there. And we're hearing more and more of these cases, unfortunately.
Absolutely. And the reality in Ontario is about 115 kids under the age of 15 end up in the hospital emergency ward as a result of electrical injury.
Right. So this was very dangerous. This was not a good trend. Okay. Every article written about it was attached to how dangerous it was and the horrible effects of it. Right. So, and again, like I said, this was January 30th, right, of 2020.
Okay.
Right? This is a long time ago. So why am I bringing up an idiot challenge from 2 years ago? Well, that's because in December of 2021, Alexa told a child to do a potentially lethal challenge.
Hey, kid, go touch that socket.
Right? I mean, out of all the things I ever thought,
wow,
right? I never thought that technology would get, petty and sneaky with it, right? Trying to take humanity out. But apparently,
dang,
that's what we're doing. Because an Amazon Alexa did tell a child to touch a penny to the exposed prongs of a phone charger. Now, the mother was actually present and involved, and this kid was a complete idiot, so it's not that the kid did it. But they weren't recording at the time. But luckily, if you have an Amazon Alexa, you would know that you can always have a record of what is suggested. So here you go. So now this is the activity right here. So the daughter said, tell me a challenge to do. And in my best Amazon Alexa voice, here's something I found on the web. According to ourcommunitynow.com, the challenge is simple. Plug in a phone charger about halfway into a wall outlet, then touch a penny to the exposed prongs. That's what Amazon Alexa told this kid.
Wow.
Can
Mm-mm-mm.
you imagine? Like I can't even.
That's what it found. Wow.
Right? Now,
Mm-mm-mm.
Amazon confirmed that Alexa really did do this. Okay. And Amazon said, well, as soon as we became aware of this error, we took swift action to fix it.
Error. Okay, error.
Right. The fact that you had to take action after the fact is terrifying. Why was this possible? Like, wow. Okay. Livdoll tweeted yesterday that asking for a challenge was no longer working. Period. Testing that was their swift action. They have no idea how to fix the problem. Testing the prompt with Alexa, we weren't able to get a similar result today, and even asking for a challenge from the web prompted no response or pulled from a very limited pool. Exactly, because they have no idea how to fix the problem. Now, Amazon isn't the only company to run into issues trying to parse the web for content. In October, a user reported that Google displayed potentially dangerous advice in one of its featured snippets. If you Googled, had a seizure, now what? Really? Wow. Okay. The info it showed was from the section of a web page describing what not to do when someone was having a seizure. You know, let's scroll down so y'all can see this with me. The Google search summary versus the actual page. Here you go. Okay. So again, showed you what not to do. At the time, The Verge confirmed the user's reports, but it appears to have been fixed based on tests we did today. No snippet appears when Googling had a seizure. Now what? No snippet appears? Like, no, now they're just trying, like, they don't even know what to do, right? They have no idea how to fix the problem, so they're just going to eliminate the question. It's not a solution. I don't know if anyone figured that out. It's not a solution at all.
Okay, to delete. Wow.
Right?
Not
now,
fix it, come up with an answer. Gee.
Hey, listen, if you just had I hope that you guys could just figure out those questions yourself, because apparently if you can't find an answer, if Google refuses to answer your question, now you know why. Now, users have reported other similar problems, though, including one user who said Google gave results for orthostatic hypotension when searching for orthostatic hypertension, right? So hypotension is when your blood pressure is too low, right? Hypertension is when your blood pressure is too high. So if you had hypotension, if your blood pressure was too low, you're looking for tips to increase your blood pressure. If your blood pressure is too high, you're looking for tips to decrease it. So if I say, hey, I have hypotension, and it gives me tips to further lower my blood pressure, that is incredibly dangerous. Like, it's
right.
This is not okay. See, again, what did I tell you? Technology is not doing a better job than we are. We've also seen warnings about dangerous behavior amplified to make the problem bigger than it originally was. Earlier this month, some U.S. School districts closed after self-perpetuating reports about shooting threats being made on TikTok. It turned out that the social media firestorm was overwhelmingly caused by people talking about threats, far more than any threats that may have existed. As in, no one made any threats. Everyone was just talking about making people who might have made threats or people who have received threats, but no threats were actually made. They didn't find any threats. Okay. In the case of Alexa, an algorithm picked out the descriptive part of a warning and amplified it without the original context, which is the problem, right? It's not picking up context. It found the challenge. Let me scan for the words challenge. Oh, here's a challenge, and it read the challenge, but it's not reading it in context. Why are we talking about here's a challenge that has killed and maimed several children, right? And then they tell you about it. It's like, here's a fun challenge. Like, no, like, no. Oh my God. Luckily, the parent was there to immediately intervene, obviously, in this case, but it's easy to imagine a situation where that isn't the case, or where the answer shared by Alexa isn't so obviously dangerous, right? So, I mean, at the end of the day, again, Amazon didn't actually reply to anyone's requests originally. It actually took them days to answer, and then they said, we've addressed this fully. Don't worry about it. We're fine now, right? So I mean, like, they don't have a solution. They don't know. They have no idea. Actually, they have no idea why their artificial intelligence and their algorithms and stuff like that um, work the way that they do. Just in general, they have no idea. And that's part of the fearful. Well, I won't say like fearful thing, but yeah, kind of like fearful thing about it all, right? Is that because they don't know why things are happening,
Mhm.
right? And they don't know how to control it. I know on one side, right, guys, like on one side, I'm sure you would think to yourself, wait a minute, did the show end? Why is everyone saying great show?
Idea?
I don't know. Everyone's saying great show. It's kind of weird.
Oh,
Oh, no. Oh, you know what? I'm looking at something completely different.
oh,
Listen, y'all, I apologize, but I told you Ruby's brain is on nothingness. No, because I was trying to open up this because I want to show y'all something. So when I say that they have no idea how AI works and why it's doing the things it's doing, okay? So I want to
okay.
show you guys this quick video. And this is artificial intelligence. Now this is like, like an actual robot, which is cool as hell. I actually think this is super cool. A little
Yeah.
freaky, but also super cool. So let's take a look at this. I want y'all to see. Okay. So
Gotta
they
get her weave though.
right there. Okay. So now this robot's eyes, right? They wanted the robot to be able to follow the finger with its eyes, and they have given this robot the ability to kind of like have reactions somewhat, but they did not program it for the reaction at the end. Now let's take a look. Okay, so look, this robot's looking, it's following the finger up, down, it blinks. That's creepy. Look, and then it frowns, and then it backs off, right? And it's like, watch. Now it's like, okay, the finger comes back, it sticks out its finger, you touch it, and it grabbed the finger. Yo, don't touch me. You see what I'm saying? But now with this innocent little face. Now, you can look at that from two different ways, right? So Mr. Ruby saw it as pure aggression. Yo, this robot was gotten mad. I saw it as a baby. Because babies do that. When you touch them, they're gonna grab the finger. Oh, this is interesting. And it came really close to me, and I can touch it now and let me look at it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But either way, they did not program the AI to do that. The AI was never supposed to try to grab the finger, touch the finger, move the finger. They didn't program it, right? So they don't understand.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, they don't understand how the computers are working, how these artificial intelligence or algorithms are really working. So when you rely very heavily on them, just understand that the scientists have no control and don't really even have an understanding at this point. Yeah.
Yeah, just go to sleep, and if you wake up with all
Mm-hmm.
your body parts, then you're good. If there's anything missing, we'll be sure to put it on article reaction next week.
There you
Yeah,
go.
yeah,
Mm-hmm,
yes.
mm-hmm.
Wow.
I know.
Oh,
Freaky.
well, I'm gonna tell you about what I've been seeing around town. I didn't. Well, I noticed it, but I didn't notice it, and sometimes it's like that for me. So I've seen a couple of people standing outside in these different places, and eventually I figured it out. Oh, those are testing centers for COVID. Oh, okay, that's what that is. Okay. And one place I seen, I kind of wondered about that particular place because I know the area was not clean.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, I saw it and didn't see it until I saw this story, and I'm like, oh, ooh. So this particular guy is over in Hyde Park, nice area. The president used to live over there, and there's some other centers, but because what's going on, it is they closed a lot of them down. So let's listen to this investigation. People get the money and open up the sites and don't do right. Let's see, got to open.
Brevette Fleet started working at the Center for COVID Control COVID-19 testing site located in this Hyde Park condo building in early November.
I don't know if you noticed how dirty this floor is.
That's when he took this video.
There's no mop. This is where all of the biohazard waste is going in this trash can.
Brevette says his manager recently took him off the schedule. He says because he raised so many concerns about working conditions.
I sent him the video to show him, like, sir, this place is nasty. We don't have a mop. We got, swabs falling out the trash can.
Fleet showed us texts back and forth with his CCC manager where he repeatedly asked for PPE, correct disposal of testing materials, Wi-Fi for accurate record keeping, and enough staff to keep up with the growing numbers of patients coming in. One day he handled 146 patients by himself. Did you feel like your health and safety and the health and safety of the patients coming in there was in jeopardy?
Absolutely. If somebody doesn't want to manage a business like that properly, then they shouldn't be managing any businesses.
On Thursday, current employees sent the CBS 2 investigators this message announcing that all locations nationwide will be closed on Friday to, quote, retrain our management and staff while rolling out new procedures.
I try to maintain it as much as possible, but this floor is very nasty.
A spokesperson for the company didn't directly address Fleet's concerns or why he's no longer being scheduled, but sent me a statement saying CCC will train more staff, refocus on customer service and communication practices, and ensure compliance with regulatory guidelines.
Maybe now the Center of COVID Control will take better steps and measures to make sure the people that are working for them have the things that they need, and they're not being put in danger, and the people that they're helping are not being put in danger.
The company's Rolling Meadows testing site was recently given an F rating by the Better Business Bureau, and the Illinois Attorney General's office is currently investigating. In Hyde Park, Megan Hickey, CBS 2 investigators.
Yeah, these people got those the funding, open up those sites, and just really didn't care, and they're just not doing anything. So the whistleblower, shout out to the whistleblower, looking and see what's going on. Like, wait a minute, this isn't cool, and he had some concern. More power to him. So all that company that got all that funding and had all those testing sites closed them down. So now, if you want testing, you have to pretty much go to some of the bigger pharmacies or some of the hospitals and clinics because it's a big investigation.
Mm-hmm.
These folks just getting money and don't even care. They make the money and they're like, oh, wonderful, I'm good. And I'm like, dang, it's
Mm-hmm.
messed up. But I'd say shout out to the whistleblower because that's not cool. It's just going to hurt other people if you're not safe, and especially with this variant. It's a cold now. It's everybody pretty much can get it. Just look at them. Oh, got the cold.
Pretty much. I mean, like I said, we're kind of lucky this variant is hyper contagious. It seems like very hyper contagious, but also somewhat more mild. With that being said, we're going to see a significant, and we are seeing. Ontario has, I think, the highest COVID numbers it's ever had since the beginning of the pandemic, right? Like ever. But that's because so many more people are actually being infected. So, but with that being said, here's my issue. And a lot of people don't realize this. I don't blame the testing center. I blame the government because the government got millions, tens of millions of dollars. Some of the billions. I can't even remember exactly how much. I know it's a lot of money. It's not like a little bit. It might have been like 6 billion or something. It's a lot of money. Every individual state got the same amount of money. to deal with COVID, to help COVID. That should include rent relief, and it should include paying for these testing centers and making sure that they're well equipped, and paying the people who are working at them, and giving them all of the stuff that they need as frontline workers to keep things sanitized, and training and whatever. And a lot, especially if you're talking about the states that are what color is the side that's conservative, Shar? Red or blue?
I do not remember offhand.
Okay, well, whatever one has a lot of those far right conservatives in power, they chose not to use any of the money for COVID. Actually, they literally used a lot of the money to pay themselves, pay the big corporations, stuff like that, right? In essence, they didn't use it for anything they were supposed to use it for, and this would be one of those things. And I'm gonna assume that the states that took that using that money for what it was supposed to be, they're gonna have centers and stuff like that that are far more sterile and controlled and blah 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 blah, right? Because at the end of the day, that's what it comes down to. How much does your government directly care about what's going on and what needs to go on? And if your government's calling it all a joke, pretty much, right, shrugging their shoulders, people don't need to wear masks anyway, it's all the ridiculousness of Biden trying to own us and whatever, right? Like, if that's where your government is, yeah, this is what you're gonna get. And then they're gonna make people sicker and sicker, and then people are still gonna say, well, either way, yeah, sure, I'm in the hospital, I'm dying, but I still wouldn't take the jab no matter what. So screw you guys. So I mean, this is no longer like a human health issue. It's a political issue, and this is the fallout. And so all the people who desperately need stuff like this, oh well, that's what happens, right? They're caught in the crossfire.
Yeah. All right, good people. It's that time for the Kens and Karens. All right. Let's see what Ken doing. We know what Karen doing. Let's see what Ken is doing. What you doing, Ken?
Yeah, this is not your apartment. Do you have an ID on you, maybe? That fucking...
Dude, seriously? You attacking me? Seriously?
Get that phone out of your...
Hey! What the hell's wrong with you? You stupid?
Dang. Ooh, I'm too way across. Gotta back up.
Well, listen, it hasn't gotten better, y'all. Has not. Now our first Ken and Karen come courtesy of the Hilton Hotel, and some people who are very entitled, and they're entitled because they've never had to be told, no, I'm sorry, sir, it's not your turn. Because when they decide it's their turn, it's their turn. Let's see how that worked out.
Okay.
Yeah, Hilton Hotel.
Y'all haven't de-escalated the situation because she's still right there, still talking. Y'all supposed to separate the party. No. I'm about to touch you in a few minutes. Hey!
Oh!
Oh!
Yep, you got it.
You, watch her. She's still trying to come with her little bit.
It's all on camera.
Or Ron
This is all on camera. He touched him. She touched him. It's all on camera. Everything.
But who is she trying to fight? Who is she trying to fight in her bra and panties with her little 98 pounds soaking wet? Exactly. Okay. What are you, girl? Stop. Okay.
This camera, everything is on camera. Everything is on camera.
You gonna fight that big black man? Okay.
Yeah, everything is on camera.
Let her go. Let her get
right.
On camera. They didn't de-escalate the situation by moving the parties away. They still let her be right there. Why y'all
give it to her? Go ahead.
Under control.
Yeah, he just walked. He didn't even look concerned.
I don't understand this. This is crazy. Where's y'all security? No, because this is unacceptable. This is unacceptable. And y'all still having to restrain her. Don't come over here, baby girl. Baby girl, I'm not him. Hold on. Girl, I'm not him. But that ain't restraint.
Not us. We're not.
I saw everything. It's all good. She's mad, but I need a room key. I just.
This is unacceptable. I love that guy narrating.
Okay.
He's hilarious. So
Oh,
don't come over
come
here,
over here.
baby girl.
I'm not him. I'm not him. I like it.
He was not playing with her today. You don't want to do that. You could, but I'm telling you that you don't want to.
Okay.
So what's going to happen? Like, listen, they let drunk women think too much of themselves. I'm gonna keep it a buck. They do, because that woman really thought that her knocked out man on the ground was somehow weaker than her. I can take him. No, you can't. How? What were you gonna do?
With your breath?
Right. Well, you thought with your white tears and you can hit a woman that was gonna say, girl, if you put your hands on that man, he was gonna floor you too. So you're lucky they saved your life that night. That's what happened right there. Ken and Karen. And that all happened over entitlement because they're like diamond or gold Hilton members.
Ooh.
And so they had to wait in line, even though they're not supposed to wait in line because I'm a gold member. Like that, right? Like that's, yeah. Really? Man, that probably ruined his whole rest of his vacation. I hope it was worth it. All right. So up next we have surprised Karen. This is what we call her surprised Karen. So she's a racist live streamer, and she starts trouble by throwing cans at other people, and then her Karen friend is surprised that there are consequences. Yeah, let's see how that works out.
No, what the fuck is your name, bitch?
Uh-oh.
Damn.
That's not the problem you want.
Go home.
It's not the problem you want. It's not.
You cannot.
Really?
Uh-oh.
Need you to move.
Don't touch me.
Listen.
Don't touch me.
She needs not.
That's what she does. She streams.
But she can't stream people that don't want to be streamed. It's illegal.
No, it's not.
Yes,
It's also illegal to push a girl down, right?
That was she's telling her to leave the property. She can't come up here and disrespect our cousin. She cannot do that.
What's illegal?
That's to say, don't film me. You have to stop filming.
I wasn't there for that. I'm just trying
to.
There's other ways to communicate.
She tried throwing a bottle at you.
But there's actually ways to... Yeah, I'll fucking throw another bottle, bitch.
Oh, God. Well, then.
Yeah, you're man. I'll fucking throw another bottle, bitch. Do it again, that bad bitch. You want to find another bad bitch. Keep going that way.
Okay. So let's dissect for a second. First of all, I don't know if it's because they're drunk or just because this is how they are, because I've seen this in sober people who will just outrightly deny reality. I can't tolerate it. I have no patience for revisionist history syndrome. It don't work for me. You cannot tell me something that we all saw just happened 10 seconds ago didn't happen.
Right.
We were all right there, ma'am, when the woman said, don't record me, and you decided, F your feelings, I'm going to do what I want. Because for my monetary gain, mama needs some cash app to pay for these drinks, right? Like that's what happened. And to be clear, he's actually right. It's one thing for you to record for your own protection, even for your own entertainment, even just to share for friends. But when it comes down to you making money, so if you're a live streamer, you make money generally, right? Or, like with the channel, I can't go out on the street and go put something on my monetized channel and show people's faces and whatever without them giving me releases if I'm going to make money from it.
Right.
Like that is actually illegal. You can't actually do it. So in your live stream, it's not like you're going to edit it out later. So he's not wrong. But these women are clearly very drunk and belligerent. This is belligerent, gentlemen. When y'all want to call a woman who just like disagrees with you rather strongly belligerent, that's not, no, this mess is belligerent, okay? Let's keep watching their belligerent asses. They're like the belligerent duo. This is going to be awesome, okay?
Insulting the living. Come on. Bitch, throw another motherfucking can out. I'm gonna beat your motherfucking. No!
What the?
Wow. Yo, guess what? I didn't even throw it at your head, nigger.
Oh!
Throw another motherfucking can, bitch. I'm not playing with you. I'm gonna throw another one in there. Promise?
And if you hit somebody with
What's wrong with you? Uh-oh. She's down. She's down.
Karen down. Karen down.
Karen down.
Cue white tears. Okay.
Karen is
fucking
Well, you know what?
Go ahead, throw some more, girl.
Right.
It's bleeding. Are you insane? Her face is bleeding. This is actual
That's
assault.
nice.
What?
Security guard. Your face
You
is
want to
bleeding,
go home
and
now,
they
don't
don't
you?
bleed it,
Dummy?
Right?
Look at that.
Oh.
Carlos, her nose is busted.
That's nice.
Right.
Come here. She has a bleeding
Yeah,
face.
record that.
She has a bleeding face because of that woman.
Oh, now she a woman again?
Oh, now it's the woman.
No, because that is complete assault right there.
It
Oh.
went from the N-word, now she's a woman.
Now she a woman. Right.
Mm.
I noticed that too. All of a sudden,
That's
she a woman
smart.
again.
She called a woman because if she went with a friend with the N-word, I don't know. She'll be right next to her.
Oh yes. That one's a little smarter, right? She only says
Yeah,
her.
she just pretend to be Karen at times.
Exactly, right? To get her way, whatever. She knows how to tone it down enough. Right? That
Dang.
woman. Woman, yeah. Well, my mama might see this. Woman. Like,
Can't be messing with these sisters. Make you she gonna have you to catch a flight.
girl, when I saw this chick was wandering around the streets to look for bottles so she could throw it at people. Are you out of your ever? And you again don't think there should be consequences. And when there are consequences, now you want to call it assault when you've been throwing bottles at people. Okay. Yeah. Good luck with that. Sure, that didn't work out well for her. So this Karen wanted to harass some skateboarders, and let's see the consequences. I like Karen consequences; they're fun. Okay.
I mean, you call the cops. Like, you
Put your hands on me.
Ew.
Like you're the one that told me.
Oh shit! Oh!
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Oh!
Are you a movie star?
Whoa! Oh!
Karen's down.
Yeah, you better.
She's back up.
Turner!
Karen has been taught her whole life that men can't hit her back.
Right.
And true to what she understands about life, these men did not hit her back. That's why they poured water on her, because it's not hitting. And so then she starts kicking. And she's going to keep going because she was emboldened by the fact that they weren't hitting her back.
Yeah.
But guess what? You're not the only woman in the crowd, Karen.
Okay. She's like, take care of this.
Right? Here comes Super Becky. Out the crowd. Whoosh! Boom! Had that chick over. And now she's standing there, just the tiniest bit of resistance. Tiniest bit of resistance. She's standing down there and she's like, I'm safe. Good. I'm just going to stand here. Really? Listen, Karen, ain't nobody got time for your foolishness anymore.
Mm-mm.
You're used to everyone having time, but everybody does not have time for your foolishness, Karen. Okay. I mean, really, at the end of the day, Karen, I would love to say I feel even remotely sorry for you, but I don't at all. Yeah, you know what? You know what? I feel like we should do Karen being offended by other people's dealing with their own property. Yeah, no, that's literally what it is. Watch. Y'all will see the title in just a second. What is this now? Oh, it is, and I quote: Karen gets mad, or bad, could be bad, because woman moves her flower pot away from her own front door. What? Like,
okay.
how can you care where someone? Okay, just imagine having that time in your life, like that you have enough time in your life to even notice where someone else's flower pot is on their own doorstep, on their own property. That has nothing to do with you at all. Like, imagine. All right, let's take a look at this one quickly. What is going on?
Touch my stuff.
Oh, I thought I was going to read it. Okay, I'll read it for you. She keeps putting a large flower pot in front of our door, and I've fallen once because it's in the way. I have lupus and sometimes use a mobility device. The pot prevents us from opening our door all the way. We've asked her several times nicely to move it. It ended up in front of our door again. I moved it after almost falling out, and she came violently and started screaming at us. We don't know what to do anymore. So now they're just going to publicly expose her, and then society will decide what to do with her. All right, let's see.
Don't touch my stuff. Don't touch my stuff. Do you want me to call the cops? I don't care who you call, brat. Don't touch my stuff. Because I'll come out here and touch all this crap. I don't touch your stuff. Don't
calling
touch
the cops. This is
you
it.
don't
I'm done.
own this property.
Janice,
You
we
don't
had a
own it.
conversation about being in the
I
way,
don't
though.
care. You
Claire
know what?
has mobility
Brad,
issues, though.
Mobility, my butt. She's not in a wheelchair.
That doesn't mean anything.
I
She
don't
uses
care.
a cane.
I don't care. Don't touch it.
Wow.
Don't
She
touch
uses
it.
a
Once you
cane.
touch it again, you started war with me. Don't touch
war?
it.
What does that mean?
Hold up. So you only have mobility issues if you're in a wheelchair. So that's the only way. Like, if you need a cane, nah, you fine. Right? It's fine. Right? You just have a limp severely. You fine. Okay.
Right.
According to the laws of
You can
Karen.
just go around it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, inconvenience yourself. Try to hold the door open on it as it's half closed on you and edge your way out with your cane. Right? It's fine because Karen wants the flower pot where she wants the flower pot. Okay.
Don't touch it. It doesn't belong to you.
Oh, you're right.
I don't touch your stuff.
You're right. But
You
we
don't
asked...
own this. I don't own this. So where I put
You
my
do own
plants
that.
is my choice. I
Right,
don't
but
own
we
anything.
can't
I
get
don't
in
wanna
the
hear.
door.
I don't want to talk to you.
But we can't open the door all the way.
Yes, you can.
No, we can't.
Every person that has lived here.
I
has
don't
opened the
care
door
what every
except you
person
guys.
has
Well,
done.
I don't care either.
What?
That makes two of us.
Right?
Don't touch it. Because if you do, it's going to be.
What the?
I'm going to get even. I'm just telling you.
You're going to get even?
You know it. I say don't touch it. I'm asking you.
What does that
do
mean?
Not to, I'm telling you what it means.
You're going to get even
touch
because
my
we're trying
stuff.
to move your
Don't
plant because
touch
it's
my
in the
stuff.
way?
Just don't touch my stuff. I don't touch
You want to
yours.
get even because we want to move your plant because it's in the way.
No, it's not in the way.
It is
This
in the
is
way.
in the way. This would be in
Janice,
the way.
please. That's ridiculous.
No,
of course
this
it's in
is
the way.
ridiculous.
That's
Don't
in
touch
front of the door.
Don't
Of
touch
course it's in the way.
Of course. So it's not in the way.
This is, yes, it is. This is in the way also.
You know what?
This
lady?
is in the way
I don't
also.
want to discuss nothing with you guys. Just don't touch it. That's all I'm saying.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, mental illness is something else, you know.
Right?
A woman don't have anyone in her family to help her. And yeah, poor thing.
You know why? Because she ignorant. I'm sure she's been like this
Yeah.
her whole life. Unfortunately, right? Her kids
Mhm.
want nothing to do with her. Her siblings want nothing to do with her. Why would they? This is not the way to live. It's not even your place. Like, let's think about that for a second. This is not your place. Why does your flower pot need to be anywhere near in front of their doorway?
Yeah, she feels she can put it any place she wants. And the person before that lived there didn't complain, you shouldn't either. I'm like, what?
They didn't complain, they moved. Right? That's like all these people who move there. People don't tend to just like turn around places all that quick. The reason why they're turning around is they're trying to get the hell away from her freak self, right? So
yeah.
Just saying, if we had no other lessons, yes, Karens do come in other shapes, sizes, and colors, unfortunately.
Dang.
We letting them rub off on us. Guys, detox. Detox all the Karen out of your life so you don't become one. Okay. And I figured, listen, y'all, I promise y'all, I am going to make like a movie version of the Karens. So I will bang out a bunch because now we're behind. We're like hella behind with Karens. So it's fine. Next week, I will try to get just a bunch of them in. Just boom, 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 boom. And we will just watch a movie of Karens. Okay. That is my commitment to y'all because this week it wasn't going to happen.
Okay, well, I definitely enjoyed the Karens. Thank you so much.
You're
it was
welcome.
wonderful. They were lovely.
Right? Aren't
I
they?
enjoyed myself. I was excited. I have to kind of tone it down a little bit. I'm not supposed to be that excited over here. I'm supposed to kind of mute myself.
No, I love that. I think we all love the Char excitement. Like that definitely adds to the fun.
Flying kick. I was excited. I'm sorry.
Right?
Pardon me, but I enjoyed myself.
Yes, girl. Yes, that's how it's supposed to be. That is what the Karen segment is for. Okay.
That's right. Enjoy ourselves.
Exactly.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the show, and I definitely thank you for tuning in. Thank you for your likes, shares, contributions, your watch time. All that is support to the channel. So thank you so much. I hope to see you guys next week, next Friday, 9:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. That will be just a regular JustAskChar channel show. We'll have an open panel. Do tune in. Don't be shy. And until then, I hope you guys have a good week. Stay safe. And until then, peace.
Cheers, y'all.
Hi, this is Char Willie from the JustAskChar Advice channel on YouTube. Join me every Friday night at 9:30 p.m. Central Standard Time for an open panel discussion. You'll find myself, Classic Ruby, and others giving our honest opinion, giving several examples, and problem solving. If you have an email for advice, you can send it to justaskchar@gmail.com. Hope to see you soon.